Hi, my friend. So, if you've ever gone to bed frustrated because you worked all day, did everything right, and still have nothing left at the end of the month, this one's for you. Because today, I want to talk to you about something which is sitting in millions of driveways right now, which is quietly draining the one resource that could actually change your financial life. And the scary part? What is it? That most people never question it. In fact, most people try to defend it. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see it completely differently, okay? And that shift alone could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. So, very quickly, before we continue, if you're finding this useful, please hit the like button, okay? It really helps this video with the YouTube algorithm and helps the channel grow. And if you want more content like this, make sure you subscribe and click on the notification bell, okay? So you don't miss any future videos. And as a thank you for doing that, here's a picture of... Look, I know where you're at right now, okay? You're working full time, you've got a family counting on you, and every month the money just disappears before you even have the chance to breathe. So, okay, you're not lazy, you're not bad with money, it's just that you've never been shown how the game actually works. And one of the biggest pieces of that game, what is it? It's just parked outside your house. So today we're going to talk about cars, okay? Not in a peachy, you shouldn't have these nice things kind of a way, okay? So I promise this isn't that video. We're going to just talk about how the way most people buy cars is quietly destroying their ability to build any kind of financial cushion, okay? That emergency fund you've been trying to start. So the breathing room your family deserves, that retirement you keep pushing to the back of your mind. So by the end of this video, you know exactly what's happening, why it keeps happening, and 3 practical things you can do differently starting right now, okay, with no jargon, no complicated strategies, just honest, clear information from someone who genuinely wants to see you win. Okay, so let's get into it. So let me paint you a picture. You walk into a car dealership, okay, and this section, let's say I would like to call it the game being played against you. So watch out for this, okay? So you walk into a car dealership, maybe your old car finally gave up, or maybe you just feel like it's time for something better. So you sit down with the salesperson and almost immediately, they ask you one question. Not what your total budget is, okay? So not how much can you afford overall, but they actually ask you is, what monthly payment are you comfortable with? And here's the thing, that question sounds so reasonable, so helpful even, no? But it's the most carefully designed question in the entire sales process. Because the moment you answer it, you've handed them complete control over the deal. Think a bit of it like this. Imagine you walk into a grocery store, and instead of seeing the prices on the shelf, the cashier just asks you one question. How much do you want to spend per week on food? You'd have no idea whether you're getting a good deal or being completely taken advantage of, because the total cost becomes invisible. That's exactly what happens at the dealership, okay? Here's what they do with your answer. So let's say you tell them that you're comfortable paying $600 a month. So they take that number and work backwards. So they stretch the loan, instead of 4 or 5 years, they offer you 7 years or 8 years. And suddenly now your $60,000 truck fits into a $600 a month. But over 8 years with the interest, you could end up paying $78,000 or maybe more. And you'll still be paying it off when your little one is starting school. Okay? So if you have a kid, your kid will still be, you're just starting school and you still have to be paying that truck. So this is called the monthly payment trap. And it works because our brains are wired to think short term. So we think $600 a month feels manageable. So it's not a big amount. Okay? So $78,000 instead feels enormous. But it's the same deal. Okay? Just completely different feelings. So, have you ever walked out of a dealership thinking, that wasn't as bad as I expected? And then a week later wondered how you ended up in such a long alone. So, that's exactly what happens. So, your one takeaway from this section should be, before you ever set foot in a dealership, know your number. Not your monthly number, but your total number. Decide the absolute maximum you're willing to pay for a vehicle overall. And don't let anyone pull your eyes away from that conversation. All right? So, now we're going to go into the second part. Okay? And this is the hole that keeps getting deeper. Why? Now, okay. Now, I want to talk about something that's a little harder to hear, okay? But I'm telling you this because I'd rather you hear it from me, from a friend, than figure it out the expensive way, all right? So let's say you bought a car 2 years ago and you've been making every payment on time because that's what you do, you're responsible. But then let's say life happens, a hospital bill, some broken appliance, some big expense or something that you hadn't planned, okay? So let's say you still owe now $22,000 on your car loan. Here's now the uncomfortable part. If you try to sell your car today, you might only get $15,000 for it. So that gap is $7,000. Okay, and that $7,000 has a name. It's called negative equity. So some people call it being underwater. And here is why it matters so much for someone in your situation. When the car starts giving you trouble, or when the newer model comes out and the dealer calls you with a great offer to upgrade, the temptation is to trade in. And they'll make it sound completely painless. But what that actually means is you're now financing a brand new car plus $7,000 you still owed on the old one. So now you're paying for two cars while only driving one. So I've seen this cycle repeat for people their entire adult lives. And every 3-4 years, they have a new car. Every time, a little more old debt quietly folded into the new loan. By the end, they've spent an absolute fortune on vehicles and have nothing to show for it. No savings, no emergency fund, no investments, no cushion, nothing. Okay? So here's the analogy that always makes this real for me. So imagine now you're trying to fill a bath, but you never close the drain. You keep pouring water in it. That's your income, your hard work, every hour you put in it, but it keeps on disappearing. A car payment is one of the biggest open drains in the average family's finances. So unlike a mortgage though, and unlike investment, a car loses value every single day. So you're paying interest on something that's worth less every time the sun comes up. Now here's the number I want you to actually sit with for a second. When you add up monthly payments for insurance, fuel, maintenance, the annual registration, so the average car cost goes from somewhere between $10,000 to $12,000 a year to own. That's up $1,000 a month, okay, just to have a car. So I'm not saying don't have a car. I know you need one, but I want you to see is actually how much it's costing you, because most people have never added it all up and looked at it honestly. So in this case, if there's one takeaway that I want you to remember and from this section is that before you think about trading in or upgrading, okay, find out exactly what you owe versus what your car is actually worth today. That single number will tell you everything about whether now is the right time to make a move or whether you'll be just digging the hole deeper. Okay, so now let's talk about what's actually possible when you make a different decision, because this is the part that I really want you to hear and really think about and sink in. So let's look at the real number. If instead of a $700 monthly car payment, you drove a reliable used car, no payment, or a much smaller one, and you put that $700 a month into a simple index fund, okay, something that just quietly tracks the stock market over 30 years at an average annual return of 8%. You'd have approximately how much? $1 million. Okay? $1 million. Okay? Not from a side hustle, not from a risky investment, but just from simply making a different decision about the car in your driveway. Okay? I call this the invisible wealth builder. It doesn't look impressive on the street. Nobody's going to lean out their window and admire your index fund, okay? But it is genuinely life-changing, powerful, and it's available to anyone willing to think just one step ahead. Now look, I hear you. I need a car that actually works, and somebody will say, hey, look, I need a car and I've got kids, I have to work, I can't drive something that's going to break down on me. And you're completely right. I'm not suggesting you drive a rusted out wreck, all right? I'm just suggesting something far smaller, okay, than that, something maybe used, so buy a used car, specifically look for a car that's 2 to 3 years old. And here's why this is one of the best financial moves. I'm just going to repeat it, but every brand new car loses somewhere between 15 and 25% of its value in just the first 2 years. So simply from being driven normally, okay? So the person who buys new cars absorbs that hit. Then when you buy a car that's already 2 or 3 years old, that drop has already happened. So you get most of the car's useful life still ahead of you, and still with some warranty remaining usually, but at a price that reflects reality, not the new car premium you'd pay on the lot. All right? So it's like waiting for someone else to open a board game, play it once, and then buying it from them for nearly half the price. The game is exactly the same. You just didn't pay for the packaging. All right? Now, when you are ready to buy, here are 3 rules that will protect you every single time. All right? So remember these. Rule number 1 is the 24-10 rule. So put at least 20% down, keep the loan for 4 years maximum, and make sure your total car cost, so therefore payment, insurance, fuel, all of it, stays under 10% of your monthly take-home pay. If a car doesn't fit those numbers, then it's not the right car right now. And that's not failure, it's just wisdom, all right? Rule number 2, get prepared before you visit any dealership. Go to the bank or to the credit union, find out what interest rates you actually qualify for, and walk in already knowing your terms. You're not hoping they'll treat you fairly. You've already made your own arrangement before you sat down. And rule number 3, never negotiate on the monthly payment. Only ever talk about the total price of the car, okay? And keep your trade-in as a completely separate conversation. Don't let them bundle it all together. Dealers prefer confusion, while your clarity is your protection, all right? So, last thing, you don't have to choose between having a reliable car and building financial security, all right? Remember this. You just have to choose the right car in the right way at the right total price, okay? That's very, very important. And to bring it all home and to finish the discussion, let's bring this home, because I want you to leave here with something you can actually use. So, summarizing everything, section 1 is the dealership is not your friend during a sale, okay? Their entire process is designed to move your eyes away from the total cost and onto the monthly payment. Your job on the other side is to keep the conversation anchored to the total price, always. The section 2 we're talking about instead the negative equity, which is a quiet trap that compounds over time. So rolling old debt into new loan is one of the most common ways people stay financially stuck with their whole lives, okay? We discussed that a used car bought intentionally, financed short term with a solid down payment is one of the most powerful financial moves available to an ordinary person right now. And the money you free up, invested consistently over time, can genuinely change the financial story of your family. So it's not about the car, it's about what the car payment is quietly preventing. It's about the emergency fund you don't have and haven't been able to build. The one that would let you sleep at night, knowing that if the washing machine dies or the car needs a repair, you're covered without panic. So it's also about the retirement account you keep meaning to start. It's about the weight that's been sitting between you and your family, quiet and heavy, that nobody quite knows how to bring up. Now, you are not in the situation because you're bad with money. You're here because nobody ever sat down and honestly showed you how the game actually works. Okay? But well, now you know. And knowing is where everything changes. All right? So if you want to take the next steps, I've put together a free guide that walks you through exactly where to start and where you're feeling financially overwhelmed and don't know how and which problem to tackle first. It's a practical, it's simple, and it costs you nothing. All right? So the link is in the description below, so go and grab it. Okay, my friend. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye. Bye.